Asha Avery versus Diana Thompson. Ladies, if you can still come up to the podium, please. Miss Avery, hello, ma'am.
Hello, Your Honor.
It shows here that you're suing for the amount of $100,000.
That is correct, Your Honor.
It's a pretty steep price. Tell us what's going on here today, ma'am.
So when my family and I moved to the county, I enrolled my children in what is apparently her school. And after about 2 months of my children attending school there, I realized that, in fact, this is more of a cult. She's teaching communistic views to my children, which go completely against my traditional family values. And so I voluntarily removed my children from the school, right? However, when I removed them to move them into another school, she tied up their transcripts for weeks and weeks, right? Causing me to have to pay for extra child care. I had to get a psychologist to undo all the brainwashing that her educators, right, bestowed upon my children. And it took me about 2 weeks to get them into a proper educational center.
Okay, so,
Goodness.
so the events that occurred after you removed them from the school, what we're talking about 2 weeks, you said?
About 2 weeks.
That's $100,000 worth of damage?
Have you had to hire a psychiatrist before for 2 children?
I have 4. I've had to, I trust me, I
have tons of now like medical bills, just undoing all of this sharing is caring sort of 1970s, be free, liberal, leftist, communistic views that her school indoctrinated my children with for 2 solid months.
Okay, now prior to you enrolling your children into the school, did you know about the curriculum at the school?
I did not know about the curriculum at the school.
So why would you put your kids in the school and you hadn't done research?
When we did a walkthrough of the school, it seemed like normal.
School is bipartisan, ma'am.
Hold on, ma'am. I got that you did a walkthrough. You probably talked to the administrators or what have you.
Yes.
Did you check to see what the curriculum was? That's what I'm asking.
I did not at the time.
You got to check on the curriculum. This is a private school, Mango Park Learning Center. It's private, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna get back to you. Ms. Thompson, what's your position here at Mango Park Learning Center?
Good afternoon, Judge Porter.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
All right. I am the owner, and I'm also one of the teachers.
I'm sorry. Can you speak up just a little bit?
I am
more,
one
ma'am?
of the owners as well as one of the teachers.
Okay. All right. What's the story here? You've heard what she's had to say. Why did she tell you that she removed her children from the school?
Well, first of all, I would recommend her reading Peter and the Wolf. You should not lie. It is not a good thing. It's a bad habit to teach your children. And the psychiatry for her children probably has to do with her behavior.
Okay.
We were teaching the children a lesson on sharing, on how to be good friends.
Okay.
All the parents are aware of our curriculum. We send a newsletter home the week prior to our lessons, letting them know what we're teaching. And she had an entire fit saying we're trying to indoctrinate her children.
Wait a minute. This newsletter, you say you send it out once a month?
Once the week prior to the lessons. And I brought a copy and our lesson plans for you, Your Honor.
And how long were her children enrolled in the Mango Park Learning Center?
Oh, they've been with us for 2 months before I had to expel the children.
So they were with your facility for 2 months.
Yes, Your Honor.
And within that time period, you had sent out newsletters prior to give the parents a heads up. Okay, we're going to be teaching the kids this. Why do you send that out to the parents?
We do that every Friday to let them know what the children will be learning, because we want the parents to be interactive with the children to kind of give them a head start for when the kids get there, they know what to expect. We don't want any surprises.
Okay.
And this way, if the parents do have any objections, they can always contact us and speak in a cordial manner instead of berating my teachers.
For those 2 months, did you have any correspondence from Ms. Avery as to maybe a disagreement to what the curriculum was, or?
No, Your Honor, she didn't send any correspondence. She came into my school yelling and threatening my teachers is what she did.
Was that any time in that 2-month time period, or was like towards the end, just prior to her?
Oh,
removing
the last
children?
big blow up was the last one on the sharing. But prior to that, she has come in several times and complained and just acted like a toddler.
Okay. Miss Avery,
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm assuming there's a disagreement as to what the children should be taught. They have their curriculum. You don't agree with the curriculum. You remove your children from there. So where I'm not understanding is, if you didn't like what the school was teaching, and this is a private school, and you took them out, why are we here in court today?
So I have no problem at all with lessons on sharing. Again, we're pillars of the community. My husband and I attend church every Sunday, and so do my children. But my children continually were being berated by the staff for not sharing their iPads with 3 other children in the classroom, which I did not know this school allowed, that are dressed up like furry little animals. And I said, I have no problem with you not sharing your iPads with these children. This is not a mental health facility. This is a school.
I'm sorry.
Why do we
sorry.
have children running around dressed in costumes?
Did I hear you? Hold on, ma'am. Did I hear you say that the children were dressed like animals?
Like animals. They even installed a litter box in the children's bathroom for these children that think that they're little furry animals. So I have a problem. Would you share your iPad with your dog or your cat?
Ms. Thompson, I think I already know the answer to this, but what is she referring to?
The children were dressed up because they were practicing for their classroom play, and the litter box was a prop. That is it.
In the bathroom?
In the bathroom, because we also have a pet, a class pet, which is a cat.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Were you aware of the fact that they had a cat in the classroom?
I was not aware of it.
Your Honor,
I think that this school belongs in
bought cat food.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, Miss Avery. I understand that you said that the kids were wearing their costumes or what have you, and you said there's a litter box in there, and she said that there's a cat.
According to my children, these are other children that identify as animals and are allowed to run around in class, paw and badger the other children dressed as cats and dogs and whatever they identify.
How old are your children?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. So that's what, first, second grade, something like
Yes.
that?
Yes, Your Honor.
They're children. They play.
That they allow in school. I mean, when I was a little girl, I thought it was Wonder Woman, and my parents let me spin around until I passed out. And then I realized I'm not, I'm human. They didn't let me go to school dressed as Wonder Woman. Why are you allowing children dressed as little kittens?
Children's creativity.
Hold on. See, you're talking.
This is a place of learning. This is not a performance art school.
Ma'am. I understand your concern, and you did the right thing by taking your children out of this facility. And I'm assuming you put them in a facility that
We
you're comfortable
expelled
with.
them.
No, they did not.
I'm sorry?
We expelled the children because of her actions.
My actions.
The children love the school, but because of the mother constantly coming in there threatening our staff, I had to expel the children.
Ideology where don't listen to your parents, educators educate children.
No.
Not the parents and not the church. It's up to them.
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
Undermining my teaching as well as the church.
My staff, that you're going to shove crayons.
Ladies, please. Thank you. Here's the deal. And I'm going to give this recommendation. If you have a concern about what your children are being taught in school, you have 3 options, really. The first option is you can put them in a school that lines up with what you believe is the proper teaching.
Which is what I thought this was.
The second option is you can do what they call homeschooling, where you teach them. The third option is you don't teach the kid a damn thing and you let them figure out life on their own. Now, that last option, I wouldn't recommend that, but unfortunately, a lot of kids end up in that situation as they get older.
Correct.
The first option, you said you've already done that. The second option, homeschooling, I don't know anyone who can give me information about homeschooling, because children have to learn how to socialize with people who are different from them. Not only from a racial point, nationality point, but a difference of beliefs. Hold on, let me finish. Diversity rounds out everybody. And when we exclude ourselves just to people who think like us, to people who look like us, then we're really hurting ourselves. Okay? When I go to law school, there's a gamut of things I have to learn from different angles. Because when I sit on this bench, I'm going to have people like yourselves who are going to come at me from different angles. And I have to be fair to everyone. I can't just go with, you know what? I agree with what she's saying because she's thinking just like I think. I'm going to rule in her favor. No, that's not fair. That's not justice. And again, you're the parent. If you think this is what's best for your kids, I can't tell you how to parent. Okay? But what I can tell you is that they have to be able to nurture with other people who have a difference of opinions than they do. And I know what you're saying. They're babies. They're in first grade. They're 6 or 7 years old. When they're that, remember, I got 4 kids. And the one thing I learned about my 4 kids, because I have one's in college and I have one who had a baby. So I have adult kids. Okay. What I learned from them when they were little, they soak up everything like a sponge. Okay. Everything. And as they get older, then they try to weave their way through life. But if you put it on them that you will learn this and this only, you're hurting the child. And I'm not just saying that to you. I'm saying that to her also because she's an educator. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I don't see $100,000 worth of damage. Matter of fact, I don't see $0. I see $0 worth of damage. So I'm going to rule against you. In this case, it's dismissed. Now, my concern is that you caused a scene at the school. You removed your kids from the school, correct?
Correct.
You have no business going back there, correct?
Correct.
We'll leave it at that. Because if she calls and says, this woman's back again, I'm going to have her file a restraining order and have a trespass warning issued against you. I wish the best for your children. I do. But hear me when I say this. Let them nurture and grow by being around all kinds of people. That makes them better people.
Including animals, children who think they're animals.
If they're dressing as animals for a school play, why not?
It wasn't for a school play, but
She says
I will
it was.
gladly stay away from her school.
Have you ever seen Cats?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful play. They dressed up as animals.
Exactly.
At school.
I'm pretty sure that there are schools that have that
It
play.
is.
I'm going to say this to you, and I don't want to get political, but I want you to understand this. There is no such thing as a red state. There is no such thing as a blue state. There is a such thing as the United States of America. And until we focus on the united part, we cannot grow and prosper as a people.
And isn't it a democracy, not a communist state, a communist country with socialistic ideals, which is what she's promoting on the
Kindness is
next
not
generation
socialism.
of our children, of
Ma'am,
Americans.
ma'am, children don't know anything about communism, capitalism, socialism. They know nothing about that. You know what they know about? That's my playmate. I want to be friends with that person. That's what they know about. When we start putting that mess into them, no, stop it. Let them be children. They will figure that out when they get older. Trust me. I told you, I have 4. I know this. And like I said, this case is dismissed. Have a nice day.
I'm so grateful for Judge Porter's ruling. I swear it's so sad to see children be suffered at the irresponsibility of their parents. Some people need to repeat kindergarten because that's where we learn the most important things in life on how to be good people. Thank you so much for Judge Porter. And I wonder, hopefully he can do career day.
I am very disappointed with the judge's decision. I understand he is a father. I understand he's raised 4 children, but I am concerned for the future of America and these woke schools that are educating our children and what will happen to the United States.